going to make some bad financial decisions today.
Bad?
No, they're not bad financial decisions. You can never pay too much for self-esteem, fun, adventure, right?
Well, you can't until you run out of money.
There's no seatbelt, Maddie?
Why do you not like this one?
Oh, for starters, there is no bare tire. One rock would get stuck on it.
You get stuck in the rocks?
This is what the white one.
What does the speedometer say? What's the top speed?
There is no top speed.
No top speed. Bigger. Can you even touch the pedals?
Damn.
And this one has safety belts.
This brake doesn't work though.
Do you like this one? You said you wanted one with bigger tires. Sit your butt in the hole.
I can't reach.
This one has safety belts.
I like it. I just can't reach the pedals.
Okay, so you do like this one. This one's on the list. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, Maddie, they're all sold out. Mini razors.
I don't want a mini razor. I want a real razor.
Okay, let's look around. What size? 37s. 37s on there, lids.
I'm gonna get this guy.
You're supposed to give me that one, no.
Can you touch?
She'd need a seat spacer to see over this one.
I can see over here.
Can you see the
I
rocks?
can't see over the door.
Are you gonna be able to do it?
I don't know.
I think I see one of the Maverick R's over there. Yeah,
That is the fanciest suspension.
that's the
you can
newest
get right
suspension.
now, Maddie. It's the fanciest stuff you can get right now. It looks weird, but whatever.
It looks weird, but it handles awesome.
Can you see out good?
Yeah.
You would need a seat spacer to be able to see.
Can you hit the gas?
Ooh, this one fits you pretty good.
I like this one. It's sparkly.
See, these are 35s that it has on there, so.
Do you think you look good in it?
Look at the ground clearance.
The baby wants to get in with you.
Do not put the dog in there.
Pet the baby. Pet the baby.
Let's let Ems try it out.
No.
No.
Remember we said we're not
She'll be the
getting...
passenger.
You're not gonna let Ems try it out?
Let's see if Ems can touch the pedals.
She
look
doesn't
at
let
the-
me see him in the rear. Daddy, come hold baby.
The futures?
Yeah, how do you think this would be versus the X3 we have now?
You think
Better.
you'd be able to do the futures until Maddie was 12?
Yeah.
For the future?
You think?
Can I still do? Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie could do We Rock and you could do the Ultra 4 stuff.
You could do futures in this until you could get into the 4600?
Yeah.
You think? Does it feel good? Like you want to ride it?
Yeah.
No, don't let
So,
Poppy in.
this is how you shift on these ones. What's that, Maddie?
Dad,
Huh.
could we get the yellow Can-Am?
You want it? Alright, I think maybe we can.
The suspension things on the front?
At least it's safer.
It's
Well,
safer?
they turn better.
I'm all about that drivetrain.
Well, yeah.
That drivetrain has my heart. After getting to drive one.
$25,000 for the Razor, $35,000 for the Can-Am, but it has to be the yellow one. And the
I want
Razor
the-
can be the all black one.
That's true.
I want the yellow Can-Am.
You do want the yellow Can-Am?
Yes.
What about you? Which one? Can-Am?
Yeah.
You didn't
When I
hesitate.
drove it, I tried manual
Can-Am's
mode.
better.
but
Are you willing to sell your dog to help pay for it?
No.
selling how
So you don't have to use it.
How many dishes is this going to require? How many days of dishes? And cleaning, house cleaning is
Mom, Em has
$35,000
to clean the living room, and I have to clean the kitchen.
every day for the rest of your life?
Yes, until we move out.
like this.
When are you moving out?
I have no idea.
So 10 years of dishes and cleaning the house every day
Yes.
to get this?
Yes.
It's documented on video. Ems, you agreeing to the terms?
Yes.
Do you got that much? No.
No, it took her a minute. But...
Bet you know somebody that does.
Should we get it?
Do you like it? Yes. What do you like most about it? Well, what I like most about it is that you don't have to like pull a lever to put in high or low. You just push a button. Nice. And it's easier. My favorite part is the suspension. What are you going to do with it? Why are we getting it? We are getting it because we're going to race it in Ultra 4, right? Can I'm going to race it for Futures until you're ready. And I'm going to go in it for V-Rock. And when are we doing V-Rock? Next week. Right?
Girls, what's going on over here?
We're just testing out a random.
You want to get an ATV now?
No.
All right, girls, there's that smile. What do you kids think about this thing?
I love it.
What do you think, Ems? Uh-huh, just uh-huh?
You can't wait to try it out?
Yeah.
All right. Look at this thing. Fresh set of 35s, huh? Maddie? All right, we ended up doing it. The new Maverick R. We've had our last Can-Am for almost 7 years now. And I guess after King of the Hammers, it was time to upgrade. Get on the throttle a little bit. You okay, Maddie? Yeah. What happened? Oh, Maddie got a piece of dust in her eye. So far, first ride impressions, this thing's really smooth. The suspension soaks up everything. All right, so far this thing is a lot different in just how it reacts when you hit the gas and such than our Can-Am X3. It definitely gets after it. Man, this thing moves. Just have to get used to how it shifts and stuff. But super nice ride. And this is just a base model. This isn't like the live valve, but even just base model like this compared to our X3 that has, like, you know, had the best shock package of the year. I mean, this thing really rides really nice. The alarm tells her that the door is open. So she's got it in low gear right now. She's learning how to drive it in low. All right, Maddie, let's go. Maddie's gonna get used to the throttle control. Now this thing, you can drive it in automatic where it changes gears itself, or you can use these paddle shifters and you can shift gears. Because this doesn't, like, unlike most UTVs, which have a CVT transmission, which is a belt-driven transmission, this actually has gears and like an automatic type transmission, which is super cool. I've been waiting until they came out with a transmission like this for UTVs, because I really don't like having to change the belts and such. Maddie just took her over a big bump. You can't drive out there, okay, because it's not open, but you can drive around a little bit right here. Is it really easy?
Yeah.
Is it really smooth?
Yeah.
That's another thing they changed with this new suspension design. What it does is it makes it have less feedback from the steering wheel. Like our Can-Am X3, the pivot point, you have a lot of, I guess, what you call scrub radius. And when you hit a rock, it can push it back and kick the steering wheel. Where this one, because the pivot point is over top of the tire, you don't get all that feedback. It's really easy to turn.
Are you in love?
Yeah.
Who's your new crush?
Can-Am.
Maddie, is this thing super smooth?
Yeah.
Does it go super fast?
Okay, who's gonna do awesome and we rock, huh? Yeah.
Now that we've had a chance to get this thing home and kind of go over it, we got our old X3 sitting right here, and we can kind of do some comparisons real quick. So one of the first things to notice is we look the new Maverick R. I mean, if the roof didn't have that kind of goofy wing on it, it sits at pretty close to about the same height as the X3. The big difference that you see there is the amount of ground clearance underneath the R. Look at that. I should get out my tape measure to compare, but when you go over to the X3, you can see it's just not the same. Now, you could say the X3 has 32-inch tires on it. That one's got 35s on it. So naturally, it'd seem a little bit taller. However, I think you can see the shape of the control arms and everything. And the other thing is, this one doesn't really sit up any taller to accomplish the same amount of ground clearance, which is pretty impressive. Like, that's pretty cool. Now, there's a lot of other little things we'll notice. If we look in the motor compartment, everything is a lot more accessible. You got, for changing the air filter, super easy to get at right there. We move over here, we got our oil. We've got the oil filter, very similar to the X3. I haven't changed the oil on this yet, but hopefully the plug is easier to get to than the X3. That's the worst part about the X3, is just changing the oil. Hopefully that plug's easier to access. I don't see where it is right now. I haven't looked it up yet. But just so far, everything's easier to get at in here and get your hands around. Where this one, you can see the oil filter's back in there a bit more. The oil plug for changing oil was always a pain to get at down under there. But overall, this has been great. It's held up very well. No problems with 3,000 miles on it. They obviously, this is a base model, but they obviously changed up the console and everything a bit, where the shifter is different now. You've got push buttons for park, low, neutral, all that sort of stuff. And then on the steering wheel, it's got paddle shifters that you can shift gears, because this one has a gearbox instead of a CVT, instead of a belt transmission, which is super nice. I'm really looking forward to not having to change belts. Belts haven't been a big problem, but they're just one more maintenance item. As we go over here, I like where they put the electrical. You got an accessory one right here that you can tap off really easy, and right here you have two battery. You have two battery that are easy to access, so you can pull off the accessory right here for running accessories. Where the Can-Am X3, it was kind of hidden down in the kind of between the two seats. It was a little bit harder to get to, but this is nice because here we have all the switch. There's holes to put switches in down there too, for winch and extra lights and all that kind of stuff. There's a whole lot of different ports that we can go off. The cage looks about like X3 quality. It's okay. We'll replace it with our own built cage, probably something similar to that. But let's see. Obviously, big thing is the suspension on this one. It's completely different. You got those big tall knuckles, which right here, people would look at that for the first time and say, what is going on there? The biggest thing is that it makes the steering much more easy. Like when this thing's sitting there like that with 35s, I can just steer it really easy. Where that one, even with the power assist, it's hard to steer when you're just sitting still. This one you can steer almost like a rock crawler steering ram. It's super easy to steer. And that's because the pivot point follows the center of the tire. Instead of like over here, instead of right here, your pivot points aren't quite in the same spot. Those are decent, those are tucked in there a ways, but it really makes a difference on the X3. The steering seems effortless, like with these tires. And the suspension is really smooth. Seems to, once again, these are kind of more the base model shocks, but they're still good shocks. They're still Fox 2.5s, but it really soaks up everything we throw at it. So, and the lower suspension components look beefed up. The control arms look stronger, the lower control arms. So, those are just some of my initial thoughts. Come stock with a factory locker. Unlike this one I had to put my own locker in, but then they changed it after that year. This one's a 2018 that we bought in 2017, so it's one of the early 2018s, which otherwise has been a great machine. Hasn't given us any problems, but they've definitely refined things with this. It's pretty impressive. Day number 2 in the new Can-Am. We got Maddie set up better. We got some better harnesses going on in here. So we're gonna go put a few more hours on this thing. We're gonna take this thing in a little bit rougher terrain. Try it out, see how it does. Keep a little bit more passenger. Good, good. Real slow. A little bit passenger, yeah. Okay, the front's dropping real slow. It's about down. There you go. Now a little bit passenger. There you go. Wasn't bad. All right.
Dad's trying it out.
We're gonna see if this thing can do a little rock crawling. Well, that spot can actually lean you into that wall.
Yeah, you know, but you had like 3 feet.
My biggest fear was that I thought what was going to happen is it was going to lean me down into that wall and I was going to tip into there, you know. I'm still, this thing, the way it kind of flexes and handles is so different, you know.
Yeah, I think like, you're driving it dodging diff hangers.
I am. You got a ton of clearance under
There's
there.
no diffs under this.
So you can look at this spot right here. That's from people leaning into that with their Jeeps and such. And during the Great American Crawl, this spot, it looks kind of benign, but it can really trip people up. Because when you pick a tire up there, and then you have this hole over here, it wants to lean you. And if you don't stay far enough over here, it will lean you into that. And that's where all that glass and stuff comes from. So what I was trying to do with the side-by-side to get used to it was I'm just trying to get my tire on the point of that rock. It took me a few times to get there. And then once I went up, it was good. I was just waiting for it to settle, to like feel it settle down into that hole, but it never did. It stayed super stable. So yeah, right there, it did great. And you don't have to worry about your diffs catching on that middle rock because there's no diffs to catch. Emily's getting some time on her 125 Trials bike, so we picked this up over the winter, bought it off a friend. Pretty cool little bike, little gas. So, she's having fun. Em? And then you got Lydia on her Beta 300, cruising along. All right, just watch the way this thing floats through the rocks. Okay. You're okay, you're at the top. You're doing good. Look at that lit, that's that perfect. You're doing good. Turn a little bit, driver. There you go. All right, so second day we've had this thing, just breaking it in right on some rock trails, but it's super smooth. The way the IFS and IRS and all that handle is just definitely different than a solid axle. But it's, Maddie, what do you think?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it super smooth?
Yeah.
Was that a little scary when we got a little tippy?
Yeah.
But hey, who stayed brave?
Can-Am.
You stayed brave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, good job, big kid. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Who's my big kid? Huh? Maddie's getting her chance at driving. We're just trying to figure out, would this thing be able to do some rock crawling, you know, with the way people are running these out at King of the Hammers. I mean, I don't know. You know, they're a lot tougher than we give them credit for. You just got to get used to how they handle. It's a lot different. All right, day number 3 with the new Can-Am. We're just testing this thing's capability, seeing how it does in rock type situations. So we've got a little honey hole that we like to kind of practice rock crawling in. And so what I'm gonna do is try this thing out here, set up some cones, see how it would do in a rock crawling situation.
All right, Maddie, you think you would just drive the can up that? Dad made it.
That's different.
You think? You think Ems could do it?
I think Ems could.
What about you, though? I think you could do it.
I don't know.
What if Dad was spotting you?
I still don't know. I can't see over the hood.
You can't see good enough?
Yeah.
Maybe more practice and then you're going to try it?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea, huh?
Really nice and stable going down.
straighten it up.
Just drop.
Straighten it up towards this side. Yeah, right there. Come closer to me. Yeah, you're good. Just ride that down. Maybe a driver a little bit. Yep. Too hard, like once you get on the ledge, but scoot driver a little bit. Driver.
Hit the cone.
You gotta go a lot more driver.
I gotta say, this thing's pretty impressive. There's a couple spots where we had to just carry a little momentum over some ledges, but other than that, on steep stuff, super stable. It's the same wheelbase as our rock crawlers, so it's really stable up and down. It just doesn't quite crawl the same. The tires aren't as sticky, so you have to use a little momentum to get up some ledges. But overall, really felt in control through and stable, dropping down things. How'd it look?
It looked pretty good. I mean, it looked better than like a stock Jeep did would on one of those.
Yeah, that was impressive. This thing keeps surprising me.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we played around on this stuff on the rear steer rock crawler with M's before. This is
It's pretty wet too.
It is. That wet spot. Ems, did you get me going up that spot that was kind of wet?
Yeah.
You good? You just ready to go ride your dirt bike? Yeah. You having fun out here today, Ems?
Yeah.
Yeah? What are you riding today?
The trials bike.
Trials bike? You feeling confident on it?
Yeah.
You gonna ride up this steep slope over here?
If I have to.
If you have to? I think you could do it. You gonna ride down it?
No.
No? Maybe we'll just hit some more trails today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds fun.
All right, a couple more observations with this thing. Unlike the X3, it has this better storage. It has all these different mounts and stuff, so it's easy to strap things to the back. It has the fuel tank in the front, just like the X3, just right up here. I forgot to mention that earlier. So it's nice and easy to get to. 35-inch tires, plenty of room for clearance, and the steering so far on this has been effortless. If you have on our Can-Am X3, as soon as you put the front locker in, you pretty much like can't steer it unless you're on like dirt. If you're on rock at all, it's super hard to steer unless you're rolling forward and then start steering it. The steering on this one is effortless, even when you're on rock, even when the front locker's in. It's amazing how much different it is. Just playing around on the rocks there for a little bit was awesome. I mean, it took me a little bit to feel comfortable, kind of dropping down. It's different on where you want to put your tires. You have so much clearance in the middle. I'm so used to worrying about hitting my axle right there. I'm able to take different lines. So when you see rocks in the middle that are sticking up, I just drive right over them. You're just going to hit your skid plate. You don't have to worry about taking out a drive line, hitting a diff, any of that stuff. It's amazing. So you pick your lines a little bit differently, and it's really stable. Kind of dropping down those rock slabs and stuff was super stable. This thing just continues to impress me, and once I get a little bit more seat time in, a little bit more comfortable, I can see why now people are able to drop down back door and jump off stuff like that with these, because they're pretty insane. I never thought side-by-sides would get to this level where you could just, I mean, these things, it doesn't look like it has the wheelbase it does. It's the same wheelbase as our rock crawlers. This is 108. Our rock crawlers are 110 with 42-inch tires. But this one has a ton. I mean, this one, it sits up, has more belly clearance than I have on the rock crawlers. It's pretty surprising. But it's just a super fun all-around machine. You can go play around in some rocks, and you can just go run 2-track roads like this. It's really impressing me. All right, who likes their gas 125, Ems?
Me.
You do?
Yeah.
How sweet is that thing?
Do you love it, Maddie?
Yeah.
Maddie's
Maddie's got to learn how to ride the clutch a little bit better
Yeah.
before we stick her out here.
Stop. You're gonna start it.
Hey, will you two stop? So, this gas is a 125. Our other 2 trials bikes are Beta 300s. So this thing's a little bit easier for Ems to ride. Look at how small it is. It's a little smaller, a little lighter, but this thing is sweet. Like, the guy we bought it off had a ton of aftermarket stuff, from better bars to better chain and sprocket. Gosh, what else is all on there? It looks like different brakes, different brake handles, a bunch of carbon fiber stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of like aftermarket goodies added to this, the exhaust and all that, protectors all over the place. The tires still have nubs on them. We got it for a heck of a deal too.
Em's favorite bike.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna get off that thing, huh, Ems? And we put these seats on them. Trials bikes don't usually have seats, so we put some seats on them to make them a little smoother. Well, Maddie's been driving the Maverick R. What do you think of the Maverick R?
I like it a lot.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, huh?
Yeah.
Maddie, how you doing?
Good.
Just weaving through some 2-track roads here. How's this thing ride?
Great.
Is it smooth?
Really smooth.
Is it fun?
Really fun.
Yeah, it is. This thing is too much fun. It's a lot of fun. Mud. I hate mud. Mud is the worst.